Both Lebanon and Denmark have very different economies, governments, and legal systems. In this podcast, we will take a look at how different these countries are.
Let's first talk about Lebanon, a country that has experienced many shifts in its economics over the past few decades. Before the financial crisis of 2019, Lebanon had a very diverse economy with very strong sectors in banking, architecture, travelism, and services. Lebanon was known for its financial sectors because of its banking systems, which was one of the most robust in the region. It attracted international investors and deposits. Benefiting from a liberalized economy and stable financial conditions, architecture was also a big part of Lebanese economy, with products like fruits, vegetables, and olive oil being exported globally. It was once a popular tourism destination known for its historical sites, beautiful beaches, and vibrant culture scenes. But the country had a big change in 2019.
In October 2019, Lebanon fell into an economic and financial crisis. Poor governance, corruption, political instability, and heavy debt led to a complete collapse. The Lebanese pound lost more than 90% of its value against the dollar, and hyperinflation hit, making everyday life even harder for citizens. The banking sector, which was the backbone of Lebanon's economy, completely collapsed. Many Lebanese people lost access to their savings and deposits, and the country faced a liquidity crisis. Unfortunately, this had negative impacts with all sectors. Tourism, agriculture, and even industry and trade all were impacted.
When we talk about Lebanon's government, we have to talk about its political system, where power is divided among religious sects. This system was meant to ensure political balance and coexistence because Lebanon has very diverse communities, but instead it led to political dysfunction. So Lebanon is a parliamentary republic, meaning the government is structured around the president, prime minister, and then speaker of parliament. But these positions are assigned according to sectarian lines. So the president must be a Maronite Christian, the prime minister has to be a Sunni Muslim, and the speaker of parliament a Shia Muslim. In theory, this system is supposed to ensure representation for all religious groups, but in reality, it leads to political gridlock, corruption, and inefficiency. The political landscape in Lebanon has each sect competing for more power, and as a result, reforms are very difficult to implement.
Moving on to Lebanon's legal system, the country has a mixture of civil law, Islamic law, and customary law. The Lebanese Code of Civil Procedure is based on French civil law, while matters such as personal status like marriage, divorce, and inheritance are handled by religious court. This is known as the pluralistic legal system, where different religious courts handle personal issues such as marriage and inheritance, where laws change depending on one's religion. Law enforcement agents like the Lebanese Internal Security Force, security, and the Lebanese Army have specific functions like maintaining order and intelligence gathering. Unfortunately, these forces are often accused of political biases, and they have been accused of human rights violations. And on top of that, Lebanon faces issues with organized crime, like drug trafficking and arms smuggling, which are often tied to the Syrian militias. In impoverished areas, violent crimes have risen, which contribute to many's general sense of insecurity.
Let's turn to Denmark, a country that has a highly developed and diverse economy. Denmark has a mixed economy combining elements of a free market and welfare state. Denmark's economy is highly industrialized with major sectors like services, manufacturing, and agriculture. The service sector, including finance, insurance, and IT, is the largest contributor to GDP. Denmark also has a lot of agriculture, especially with pork and dairy production, and it's one of Europe's top exporters of agricultural products. They are a global leader in renewable energy, mostly wind energy. They've set a goal to be carbon neutral by 2050, which is a big goal, but it goes along with the country's overall commitment to sustainability. Denmark's economy stays strong, though it does face challenges like global economic shifts, international trade tensions, and adapting to an aging population and technological change. But overall, it has a high standard of living and a stable job market.
Denmark is a constitutional monarchy with a parliamentary democracy, meaning that while the monarch, Queen Margaret II, serves as head of state, the real power lies with the elected government. So the monarch's role is mainly ceremonial. She represents Denmark internationally and performs state functions, but actually has little power. The Prime Minister is the head of government and is appointed from the majority party in the Denmark's Folketing, which is the parliament. The Folketing has 179 seats, and members are elected through proportional representation every 4 years. Denmark also has a decentralized government, so local municipalities and regions have most control over issues like education, healthcare, and urban planning.
When it comes to law and order, Denmark has a civil law system based on Danish constitution. The legal framework emphasizes fairness, justice, and human rights, and the judiciary is independent from political influences. Denmark's Supreme Court is the highest judiciary authority, interpreting and ensuring that laws are applied fairly. The country has a legal system, and citizens have access to trials. Denmark is also known for its effective law enforcement. The nation's police works, maintain public order, and the local police forces address regional needs. Crime rates in Denmark are relatively low, and there is a strong focus on rehabilitation rather than punishment in the criminal justice system. The country also offers strong social support systems addressing issues like poverty and mental health issues to reduce criminal crime.
As we've seen, Lebanon and Denmark have very different economics, political systems, and legal systems. Lebanon faces many challenges due to its political instability, economic collapse, and sectarian divisions. Denmark, on the other hand, benefits from a well-established welfare state, a stable economy, and a functional legal system. Though both countries have their own strengths and weaknesses, it's clear that governance and rule of law are important roles in shaping their futures.